beautiful little town called Gullane. That's where we are. We're going to see the Archie Baird Museum of Golf, which is over here somewhere.
That'd be good. We can walk down.
We can still wear our golf shoes, right?
Yeah, still fine.
What a beautiful little town.
What a place. Gullane.
Now the gutty, that's a ball?
That's right.
Oh, I better not touch it.
Now you can touch it.
Look at these sticks.
That's one of my most recent purchases. I bought that at an auction.
And this is Hickory. Hickory shaft.
Oh yeah. A child's set of clubs. A wood and three.
A mashie.
Yeah.
And a niblick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You could tell whether your ball was round when you stuck it through.
No, it's something different. It tells you whether it's an American ball or
Or a European ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
European ball will go through it.
Small.
But
American one.
the 168 won't go through it. Come in. Good afternoon. Archie Baird.
He's one of our group.
Archie, Bill, and Karen.
Nice.
to see you.
How are you? Ted Moore.
Ted, that's the whole.
This is the group.
This is everybody, yeah.
I don't know.
Where's the other bit that we?
Yeah.
Put it in my pocket.
What are you doing?
He's measuring.
The American one.
The 168. 162.
What do you?
He's showing a tool here that shows whether it's an American or a European ball, right?
Well, it's when we were switching over, there was quite a bit to tell them just by looking at it. So somebody developed that thing. Now we'll start at the beginning, gentlemen, and the beginning is not in Scotland. The Dutch played a game like golf long before we did, and they have evidence going back to 1300.
1300?
Correct. There is no mention of golf in Scotland before 1450. But the Dutch neither developed the game nor did they keep it going, mostly because they couldn't make decent clubs. The shaft was hazel, and the head, they had no hardwood, so the head was a lump of lead. There's a Dutch club head made in about 1650 with a bit of hazel still inside it, and that was a big Bertha of the day. They didn't make them all as big as that.
Big Bertha.
There's a wee left-handed one. But whatever size they made them, they didn't have to hit the ball very well because they played mostly on the ice.
Oh.
And they always played to a stake. They didn't play to a hole. Because if the ball went down the hole, that was it, gone. But luckily for us, the Scottish wool merchants picked up the game. Scotland was a very poor country, Holland was a very rich country. These are all Dutch boys. And there weren't many Scottish boys dressed up like that, I tell you. But luckily for us, the Scottish wool merchants went across to Holland to sell the wool. You can't grow sheep in Holland, it's too flat and wet. We can grow sheep on the hills, and the wool merchants took it there, sold it for a good price, and then had to wait for the wind to change to come back. And that's Harlem Cathedral. That windmill is still standing, so we know exactly where these guys are playing on the floating canal, on the ice. That guy and that guy are wearing kilts. The Dutch never wore kilts. They've also got Scottish clubs, because we made much better clubs than they did. That's the tallest gentleman there. Because we had far more wood to choose from in the heads of beech, apple, blackthorn,
Oh man.
or pear.
That actually feels good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And the skill that went into them was enormous. But luckily for us, the bow makers had just gone out of a job because firearms had been invented. So, we took the wood, hollowed it out, put some lead in the back, got some sheep's horn from the wool merchants, put it along the leading edge, protected it. Yes, sir.
This is Mike.
Hi.
Come
Hi,
in.
Archie.
Come in.
It's all right. I'll go in the bus. I'll just wait for the guys.
You can come and listen.
Can I? Okay.
Stand in the back and don't make too much noise.
Right.
Behave yourself.
Okay. I have the luncheon here.
Oh, okay. Put some sheep's horn in the front to protect the leading edge. And the head is always spliced onto the shaft like that. You can see the end of the splice there. It runs down. You can look at your own club and you'll see it on the club. And then they glue it and tie up a fishing line.
Thank you.
Very skillful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Now only bow makers can do that. I mean, ordinary carpenters can do it. The shaft was in the early days was ash, and then when hickory was imported by 1870, they knew that was the best wood of all. And the grip was sheepskin.
The green, oh, of course, yeah, the aluminum.
Yeah, just use the materials we had. The irons were they were made by blacksmiths, and they were very crude and heavy. And the early shafts were ash, because we didn't have hickory in this country. That was what we
Did
call
the hickory come from Carolina?
Yeah.
Because hickory's in Carolina.
That's the only place.
I came from Hickory, North Carolina.
Yes.
Only place that grew.